Hello, YouTube. So, since leaving my job at the ice cream shop at the beginning of March, I've had 2 weeks kind of temp work in a kitchen, which has put some money in the bank. But I do need to be sensible and not just blow it all in one go. So, I'm looking at some kind of budget friendly, meals really. So my idea originally with this was to see how much I can get for £1. Now I'm not too far off it, and the reason I've gone for £1 is because you can go to Greggs now and get a sausage roll for £1, and I'm a little bit obsessed with them, I have to admit. But £1 is and isn't a lot of money. That sausage roll will get you, it will fill a hole until you get to your next meal, but it's not a meal in itself. However, if you go to the supermarket and you're looking at loose things like carrots and mushrooms, tomatoes, loose veg, you can actually pick up quite a lot for very, very cheap. So this was my kind of goal today. Originally it was £1. I went a bit over. I think it was £1.36, I want to say, in the end, which, if you're on a budget, sometimes that's too much. But for me, I could afford that extra 30p today. So I've gone for under £1.50 with this, and it's purely from buying loose things. Now, I go to Morrison's because it's my local supermarket. Normally I would buy wonky veg because it's cheaper, but there's no point me buying an entire bag of onions and spending half of my budget when I don't need that much. So, and also some things were too expensive, like pickles, for example. 40p for a jar of pickles, it would have been nice, but if I'm trying to stick within this budget, then no, it's too much. But in the end, I got plenty for my money. And yeah, it has made more than enough for a fantastic meal. Now, this meal was inspired by something we had when we were in Bologna. So we went to this restaurant and it was a Buddha bowl. And it had shredded raw cabbage, raw mushrooms, beans, a little bit of tomato sauce on some steamed broccoli. And that was about it. And this thing was €15. It was just insane for what you got. And I was like, really? Because you can totally make this so much cheaper. And that is what I've effectively done here. I've just gone to my local supermarket, picked up a few bits, and that's what I'm putting together. So I ended up with loose mushrooms, loose broccoli, loose carrot, loose tomato, loose onion, and a tin of kidney beans. Now, when I got home, there are a few things that I've got in my fridge that I was going to use up. So one of them is just a loose green chili. This is something that my mother-in-law gave me because they don't really eat chili. So she gave us a bag of chilies for some reason. And there's one left in the fridge. So I figured I'd use it before it goes off. And also I've added to this salt and pepper, which, you can pick up salt and pepper in a packet from the salad counter or from other places, but there's no point me getting that when I have salt and pepper at home. And I had a loose garlic clove, just a little one, which I've added to this. And this is just to show that you can eat vegan on a budget. Obviously I don't need to be this frugal, but it was kind of a bit of a personal challenge to be no, you can be vegan on a budget. Or it always annoys me when I see people post and be oh, vegan's only for people who can afford it. It's so expensive. No, it's not. And this is the perfect example of yeah, you can spend £1 on a sausage roll because it's fake meat. It's that kind of meat substitute. And those things are always expensive. But if you go to whole fruit and veg, go down to the basics, you can get so much more for your money. So what I'm doing is I'm starting off with the pepper, the onion and the tomato and the broccoli, and I'm throwing it in the George Foreman because they can just cook in there. It saves me turning on the oven. It saves me messing about too much. I'm just throwing them in there and they'll all char and cook. Then what I'm doing is I'm turning the carrot into salad. Originally, I was going to grate it, but in the end, I just took the peeler to it and just made it into nice little shredded bits. I've also got mushrooms there. Now, I love raw mushrooms. That's one good thing that came out of this rather expensive Buddha bowl. I've never had raw mushrooms before and I absolutely love them. So what I do is I take the stalk out, I then peel the cup, I crush the stalk and then chop it so you end up with almost like shreds, and then I slice the kind of top of the mushroom, the cup. So you get two different types of texture from one mushroom, which is fantastic. And then what else am I doing? Oh, so I grilled the tomato, the onion and the pepper so that I could kind of make them into like a dressing, almost like a salsa to go with the beans. To that I've added the crushed garlic, and I've also added like the last little bits of carrot, because while I could like shave most of it, there's still that end bit and I don't want to waste it. So I've just chopped it into little bits so that I can add it to the beans. I've mixed all of that together. And that's the kind of like saucy element. And you can add other things to this if you want to, if you've got stuff in the fridge. But for me, this was absolutely fine. Like lots of salt and pepper in it. I was debating getting a lemon as well, but yeah, that's another thing that would have kind of like tipped me over this kind of like budget experiment that I am doing here. But in the end, it was really, really good. So yeah. Whole fruit and veggie, well not fruit, whole veggies and things. It goes to show how much more you can get for your money when you're not going for these kind of specialist processed items. And I totally get that when you're out and about in town or you've not got access to a cooker, it's easier to just go into a shop and buy something that's ready made and a bit more expensive. But also, if you've got the time to prep and take something with you, it shows that you can have like a nourishing, healthy, much bigger, much more satisfying meal if you've just got the time and the effort to do it. So yeah, this is kind of like a personal experiment, which I think I'm going to carry on with, because like I say, I've got a little bit of money in the bank at the moment and I want to make it last. I don't want to just, you know, woo, I've been paid, let's go get pizza and all of these things. I want to make it last and see what I can do. So if you have any suggestions, please put them in the comments below, because I would really, really be interested to see kind of what people think and what people do, because vegan food can be amazing. You can get so much bang for your buck. It doesn't have to be expensive, and it can be really healthy and tasty without costing the earth. So yeah, this is the bowl being put together, as you can see, while I'm just waffling on here about absolute rubbish. But yeah, this is the bowl being put together here. In the end, what I did was I covered it up, I wrapped it up, and I took it to Leo. So, because he's working today, and this is perfect to get him through his working day. And I've still got half a tin of beans, half a broccoli, half a tomato, and 3/4 of an onion left over. So they're going to go towards dinner. All this for £1.36 or £1.30 something. Anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe so that we can hit that magic 1,000 subscribers. Also, check us out on Patreon, because you will see other videos there. And yeah, thank you for watching, and we will see you next time.